I'm warning you, this is a story that is not for the weak. And I'm not saying this just to be gratuitous. I'm not saying it just to, kind of to lure people in. Well, I guess I am, but not really. And I warn you on this because some people have very weak stomachs, but this is a true story. This is a true story about passenger rampages, and the best one that I ever heard in my life. I was doing morning drive on WABC. At that time, the biggest, most important and critical talk radio station in the nation at that time. Then, during those years. And I read this story, and I remember reading it just straight and not embellishing anything, not adding anything to it, just reading it as is. And we talked about it because it was one of those stories that the more you read it, the more you thought about it, the more it hit you, the more you realized, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, wow. Whoa, hey, wow. You know what I mean? And it was about something that happened on an airline that was so nasty, so gross, so horrid. I'm just warning you, please, if you have a weak stomach, kids, tell them to get out of the room. No. But it's true. And there are many things that we read about in life and in the world that are horrible. War, death, destruction. But this, I'm just warning you, is horrid. And there were very, very many, I'm going to put this one particular link up from Flyer Talk, which was just, you got to hear this. But first, before I go through this, I'm going to ask you to do me a favor, please. Like this video. You know the routine. You know what people always say. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that little bell so you're notified of live streams and new videos. And support our sponsor, who is MyPillow.com. MyPillow.com, the best of the best of the best. And right now, if you put in the promo code Lionel, you'll get a free gift. A gift that's free, which kind of makes it a gift in the first place. But that's not the point. It's tautological, so what? But they're going through clearance sales, and they're going through closeout sales, and Rampage sales, and soupy sales, everything you can imagine, from pillows and sheets and percales to bedspreads to towels to wash rags. But the thing that is the hidden secret, what people love the most, what they sell more than you can imagine, I'm telling you, is ready for this? Slippers. They're out of control. So what if you want to slide about as you luxuriate in your manse? My Pillow slippers, the best. My slippers, forget it. So go to mypillow.com, promo code Lionel, mypillow.com/Lionel, either way, and get a free gift. mypillow.com. Okay. Let me read this to you, and I'm going to read it and paraphrase a little bit because I've read so many different stories in this. It's been around for a while, okay? It's been around for a while. It was October of 1995. This one particular story is from Medium did it. This is from Flyer Talk. October of 1995, there was a United Airlines flight from Buenos Aires to New York. And a fellow by the name of Gerard B. Finneran, who was an investment banker, went totally crackers, bonkers, and off the charts. Newspaper accounts said that he became intoxicated. And please, I'm just warning you, please. He became intoxicated. He demanded more alcohol from the flight attendants. When they refused, he began helping himself apparently to liquor supplies. And after being cut off a second time, he became visibly angry. He pushed one flight attendant, which was perhaps the first federal offense. He verbally threatened another. That's maybe a second federal offense. He interfered with a third who was assisting a sick passenger. Third federal offense, perhaps. Then he walked up to the first class cabin, dropped his pants, and please, I'm sorry, but this is a story. He proceeded to defecate on a service cart in plain view of the passengers and crew members. Then he stepped in his own egesta, his own waste, and tracked it through the main cabin. He was arrested upon landing in New York. He subsequently pleaded guilty to assault and was sentenced to 2 years probation. In addition, he was given 300 hours community service, a $5,000 fine, and was ordered to pay more than $50,000 in restitution to the airline and to reimburse fellow passengers for the price of their tickets. Now, another version of this is from Medium. They talk about this. They tell it this way. Mr. Finneran, at the time he was the president of a development corporation. He demanded that flight attendants serve him more drinks. And when one male attendant refused, Finneran threatened to, quote, bust his ass. He then pushed over one attendant who declined to sell him a drink and harassed another attendant who was carrying a first aid kit, delaying him from helping a sick passenger. Finneran then took his antics to a new level when he climbed onto the food cart, dropped trow, as we used to say, dropped his pants, and proceeded to defecate on the cart. Before wiping his waste throughout the first-class cabin and galley, forcing the captain to suspend food service, I can imagine, for the remainder of the flight for fear of contamination. In court, he claimed that he had suffered an attack of traveler's diarrhea, but was unable to use the first-class bathrooms as they were blocked by the aides to the president of Portugal, who was also on the flight headed to New York for the 50th anniversary of the United Nations. Not surprisingly, his defense did not hold up. He was found guilty, ordered to pay over $50,000 in fines, etc., etc., etc. He was banned from drinking. And I remember hearing this. As well. That when he was to order order tickets or reserve flights, he had to tell people who he was. And of course, in the rather small community of the flight community, even then, his name was up there with, Charles Manson, the BTK killer, and he was up there. So I could imagine when he was on the phone saying, hello, yes, I'd like to order 2 tickets for the... Yes, the name? Yes, Finneran. Gerard Hello. Hung up. So when you hear about rage, when you hear about, somebody had to be escorted off the plane because she got drunk. Remember this dude, 1995. Think about that one. Now this is one for the ages. There were some other facts that I recall correctly. By the way, I'm going to put this link, 2 stories, including even Letterman did the top 10, a list of them at the time. But what was interesting is that, if I recall correctly, they covered him with a blanket and apparently, if I recall correctly, please don't hold me to this, doused him with some kind of cologne at the time. But please, do you remember when Letterman was funny? This is from the top 10. This is from October 27th, 1995, from Late Show with David Letterman. And I put this site on here. Top 10 Gerard Finneran excuses. Number 10, misread brochure about advantages of first class. Number 9, confused when steward asked for a headset deposit. I don't know why that. Number 8, went nuts after learning they were out of chicken almondine. Number 7, thought he heard somebody yell, we're going to crash, and thought this was just something he always wanted to do before he died. Number 6, hoping to impress the aloof blonde English woman in 2D. Number 5, had already used the airphone to call everyone he knew. Number 4, you try drinking for 14 hours to see if you can tell the difference between a food cart and a bathroom. Number 3, all part of an elaborate plan to intimidate the real killers. Number 2, his blank wouldn't fit in the overhead compartment. And number 1, like you've never done it. So there we have it, my friends. Not to mock, not to laugh, not to in any way chide or berate or have fun with what ostensibly is a medical condition attendant to perhaps maybe alcoholism or some kind of substance abuse. But just imagine you were in that first class and this man is doing a kind of a dirty maze prison kind of a thing, and just wow. Let that sink in. I will include the links to this. Remember, the next time somebody says, hey, did you hear about these crazy people on that Ryanair flight? It's always Ryanair, you notice that? I have a few theories as to why that is, but I don't know. Hey, did you hear about that? Those crazy people, they had to be escorted. You can say, that's nothing. Have you ever heard about Gerard Finneran? But be sure to warn them. Thank you, my friends. Please like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Please hit the little bell so you're notified of new streams, and speaking of streams, new streams and new videos. And don't forget, mypillow.com, promo code Lionel. Free gift. And please, I ask you right now, in your own inimitable way, to comment as you see fit.